Hi, everybody. I'm here with Ness, who's going to do the astrology forecast for February. Sounds fantastic. I can't wait. Go ahead, Ness.
Yes. Hi, everyone. We're back again, and we are covering February's astrology. And I'm going to bring the astrology side, and then Linda will be pulling cards to understand February's energies. And I also want to say, Linda, you look so cute with
Oh, so do you. So do you.
your flowers.
Glasses by Tom Ford,
Oh, very cute.
lipstick by, I don't know. I think it's Lacombe, but you know what? There's a bunch of people that are doing makeup that I'm not going to buy anymore because the guy's involved with giving money for ice.
Oh, interesting. There you go. I think folks are really looking at the companies that are not speaking up or the companies that are behind ice in different
Mm-hmm.
ways. So very, very cute. I have my own, the lip oil, the Dior lip oil that everyone's
Oh, I
using right
love
now.
Dior. I have Dior too.
It's very nice. I gloss is in right now. It's
The gloss
so,
is the thing. You're
yeah,
supposed to
gloss is
have the glossy, perky lips.
perky lips. Yeah, very, very
I like
cute.
to do,
When you put it on.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. Well, hi everyone. Sorry about that. We're talking
Sorry, we're
about,
talking over here busy talking about gloss.
but we're covering February's energies and we're going to be covering the start of eclipse season. And boy, is that going to be very hard for
What? Can't
Trump.
wait. I
I
can't
know
wait for the
this,
411.
this will be possibly the worst month for Trump health-wise. And it might actually get as bad as we might visibly see it. We might see him trip somewhere. We might see him, having new bruises. He might even fall asleep more in a meeting, or we might we it's going to start to seep out where it's going to leak out a bit. So February is the worst for Trump's health. I'm going to get into why. We'll look at the planets. But then we also have a beautiful cosmic event occurring in February that occurs once every 6,000 to 10,000 years. And
Whoa.
I know, this is a really positive cosmic event that allows us everyone to have a do-over. So we're going to talk about that, where it's occurring, and we'll help you folks look at where in your chart it's occurring so you have a sense of what that story will be for you. But before we get into Trump, I'm curious, Linda. Um, you know, we're the last week of January, and this has been the longest January I think I can recall in history. Like
I know. It feels like it's moving slowly.
it's moving so slowly. It feels like 2 months occurred since January 1st. And I mean, who would have thought we would have two really giant unalivings in for protests in 1 month? Like, yeah, I didn't, predict it. But also for the past 2 weeks, Trump has been kind of quiet. He had that, it was Greenland was just last week. Greenland was just like 8 days ago when he was in Davos and he was, puffing up his chest about getting Greenland and maybe by force. And then, Europe slapped him,
Yeah,
spanked
and
him.
they're making fun of him too.
I know, I know.
All nations are making fun of him, and you know he hates being made fun of.
Yeah, I read too that European nations are outwardly making deals with Latin countries as well
Yes.
as Canadian countries to show, hey, Trump, we don't need you.
Was it Canada just made a deal with China even for their electric vehicles, which is a little bit of a tax on that, but they said it's still cheaper than America.
Yeah. Yeah, they're signaling through the purse right now because that's how Trump understands things. He understands things through either ratings and poll numbers, or he understands things through the economy, the stock
Right.
market going up and down. I'm curious, Linda, in terms of, Trump, the people peripheral to Trump. We have a clear fight between Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller playing out right now. And folks, we're recording this Thursday, January 29th, so a lot might change in the next
Yeah,
24
and let me
hours.
tell you something. The reason Stephen Miller wasn't allowed in that, it's not that Trump was discussing. Stephen Miller is his backup. It's
Okay.
because she insisted he not be there. She didn't want him to intimidate her while she knew she was going to tell Trump the truth about what Miller did and told her to say, and
Uh,
but she didn't want to do it in front of Miller. I'm
oh,
telling you,
interesting.
that's what happened. I read that yesterday.
Okay, so there was a meeting where Trump said he didn't want Stephen Miller to be there,
Yeah,
but that was more about Trump was having a meeting with Noem, and Noem requested. They
yeah.
are fighting. They are adversaries. Noem and Stephen Miller. I have not
Yeah,
seen
she
someone
does
go
what he
head to
says.
head.
She reported all that bull
Yeah.
about that nurse, Alex, you know, who, by the way, I read in a mediumship energy live yesterday. What a beautiful man.
What? Yeah.
Anyway, so he was destined for this. So is the woman. She's beautiful too, but his energy was whew. And
Yeah.
normally
He's.
I can't get deceased people that quickly.
Yeah.
But um, she said, I only told everybody what they told me to tell you.
Mm.
So let me tell you another hit. I don't know if I said it yesterday. One of the reasons he doesn't get rid of Christy Nome and he doesn't get rid of Pam Bondi is their mouths. They have a lot of information they can talk about.
What did they have? Do you want to throw cards
Well,
on that?
Pam Bondi has all the Epstein stuff.
Okay, yes, that's clear. Pam Bondi has all
She
the
could
Epstein.
just open her mouth and let it out. And
Yeah.
look already what Christy's doing. She's tossing the ball. She's saying they made me do it.
Yeah.
And she gets instructions from him. She follows his instructions. So don't blame me, it's him. And if she's willing to do that, then
Yeah.
they don't want to get rid of her.
Yeah, you're right about the Bondi thing because she was from Florida. So
Yeah.
she probably already knew what was in it before she
Yeah.
got there, and that's why she was in charge of it. Wow. Wow, folks, that makes a lot of light bulbs
Makes
just went
total
off in my
sense.
head.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. So she's not shocked about the Epstein files. She was just kind of hired as PR to manage it.
Yeah. And he knew she would hold it close.
Yeah.
But as much as he gets mad at her and tells her off and everything, she's comfortable in knowing he won't fire her.
Okay. Okay. Because she's complicit.
She's
She's like a
complicit.
PR, this happens in Hollywood. You hire
That's
people.
the
Like,
thing. They're
yeah.
both complicit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no such thing as court saying they made me do it. If you did it, you're just as guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. So going back to Christine Nome and Stephen Miller, do you want to throw the cards of who's going to come on top? Because they are adversaries right now. That's kind of what I've heard in the news cycle in the past 24 hours. And then even Senator Tillerson, he came out today and in one sentence, he apparently insulted Trump, Nome, and Stephen Miller all at once. So he's not taking a side between both. He thinks both Nome and Stephen Miller kind of need to go. But I'm curious, this battle that's occurring behind the scenes between these two, Miller and Nome, who comes on top? Are they both eliminated? Does one go first and then a second one later? Um, and Stephen Miller's also in trouble, not just because of ICE, but he's also in trouble because of Greenland. He was the big one pushing forward for us to take Greenland by force. And he's also outwardly bigoted, Stephen
I
Miller is
know.
not,
I'll be honest with you.
yeah.
Miller feels like he's used goods just like Steve Bannon was. I can see Trump getting rid of Miller
That's what I can
first.
feel too. I feel
Yeah.
he's gonna get. I wouldn't be surprised, folks, in the next week we see both Nome and Miller going. But what do you see? Like, what are the cards see before I put my own opinions in all of it?
The ending of a man.
Yeah,
Also, I think
I know. I
Trump
agree.
isn't feeling good,
And
girlfriend.
I don't want to give folks false hope, but there is a small chance that February is the month he exits.
Okay.
Just because of the health things. And oh my goodness, that would, I don't want to give folks, there's a lot of exit points for him in 2026, but the eclipse on February 17th is really, really
I'll
bad.
write that
Yeah.
down. So in case I get my champagne nice and cold. February 17th. What type of eclipse is it?
It's a solar eclipse, so it's a new moon, new beginnings, and so a lot of new starts, but where the planets are located then is very adverse for Trump. It's very adverse for his energy, his vitality. I'll get into it in just a second, but um, very bad for him. But also 2 weeks later, which is February 1st, is a lunar event, a full moon in Leo. That's also bad for him. And then, 2 weeks ago, we had the new moon in Capricorn. That was also bad for him. So he's having three events, lunar events that are really bad for his health. And so it's building and building. He's not really getting a break with his health. it's kind of getting worse and worse and worse. So, okay, so you see between Noem and Stephen Miller that
I'm
it's Miller.
shocked that I see if Noam walked out on her own, but she's holding on because she's got the goods. Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
But
She's smart,
he
smart.
would get rid of Miller and in no time. He would
Yeah,
get I almost feel him being like Bannon, that they talk a little trash about Trump, but they don't go all the way.
yeah. I think there's something also too with this, the references with Nazi Germany and like, this kind of similarities to it. Like they're often saying how these ICE agents are taking people. It's almost like Anne Frank. Like, people are hiding in people's houses right now because they're worried that they're going to be taken with ICE. And then that Greg Bovino guy, the one who got
They
removed
got rid
from,
of him.
but he actually had this jacket that was an SS officer jacket. And
Yeah.
so I think that was also part of it. Like, whoa, you just dog whistled too much in
There's
terms
a
of your,
lot of them that are white supremacists and that German stuff. It's and they walk around with the Confederate flag, the army that lost. I mean, it's like
yeah. So I think a part of Bovino was exiting was actually the jacket. I don't think it was a bunch of things, but I think it was also the jacket. And then I think with Stephen Miller, there might be something like that where people don't want to dig too much, like because it's a distraction. Like, oh, Trump has all these supremacists by him or something
but
like
I
that.
almost feel like he really laid into Trump, and I feel he takes advantage of Trump's weak side. Like he
Yes.
can tell when he's not all together. Because there was a diplomat that came to Mar-a-Lago just recently.
Mhm.
I can't remember what country he was from. It was a small country, and he said Trump was out of his bloody mind.
Oh,
He
really?
didn't make any bit of sense. He said he was out
Yeah.
to lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, wait, did someone say lunch? Oh, sorry.
It's that time. We're recording this at noon, folks. But yeah, no, I think that's what you're picking up on both Trump, because someone is controlling the White House. It's not Trump, especially if he's having health events. Who is doing that? That it seems like Stephen Miller is sort of pulling the puppet strings. And then if they can separate Stephen Miller from Trump, they could possibly control him better, and it won't be, the situation we're seeing. So I'm curious also about Senator Tillerson. Do you want to read on him? He's a senator from North Carolina, and he apparently is like one of the only people having a backbone right now. Like, what is his motivation, or, is he trying
Well,
to
you
run?
know who else is having a backbone, believe it or not?
Yeah.
It's Senator Rand Paul.
Oh, really? Oh, he did.
You should
Oh,
hear him talking.
okay, I'll have to look that
And
up.
he was talking about they were having Marco Rubio was, and he was talking to Marco Rubio. He's like, what kind of dummies do you think we are? You
Oh my,
know,
see,
you're over there talking war. Who the hell are you? And
see, the GOP are kind of fighting back a bit more, They're fighting back, and I think partly, and this is not the only reason, but I think it's partly because Trump is like becoming more feeble.
he's
He's
crazy.
he's visibly looking tired. He's falling asleep more. Like and I think if Trump were stronger, they wouldn't do as much. But I think it's related to that. But what do you want to like read on Tillerson? Like what is he?
Well, and the other one was Marjorie Taylor Greene. Never thought I'd say a day she was reasonable.
I know.
Never thought I'd say a day that Rand Paul was reasonable.
Yeah. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene has a backer. And I don't think we're ever going to find out who it is. But I think someone is backing it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Democrat. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
she's
he's
being
getting
managed for
harassed
sure.
too. Tillis is getting harassed. But
Okay.
he won't shut his voice up. He's out here yelling at the crowd.
Okay.
He's going to be able to create some changes, or he'll be in the forefront for some changes coming up.
Oh, interesting.
But there's bad news, and I think the bad news is on Trump. So tell us the
Oh, yeah, let's go
911.
into we'll go into the astrology of it. When you said that, I wonder if Tillerson will lead the charge when it's a post-Trump era. Like he's going to help clean it up in terms of new laws and new I don't think he'll become president, but I'm helping take the GOP out of the
Well,
dumpster.
it's almost like, remember when President Obama, because everybody was mad about his Obamacare,
Hmm.
and when the House changed totally to red, and he said we got a shellacking.
Hmm.
I see Tella saying we got a shellacking and we deserved it.
Okay. When in the midterms in a couple months
Midterms.
when it turns all blue. Yeah, he's having leadership like a backbone. He's fighting against Stephen Miller and Trump today, which is just, I mean, when Marjorie Taylor Greene did it, she didn't go well for her in terms of standing up to Trump. So it's nice to see someone else do that. Okay, folks, we're going to go into February's energies. So I'm going to talk about February from the astrology angle, but I'll have Linda, maybe you pull cards later for the eclipse
Okay.
that's occurring for us, and like what we all should expect for those that are the collective, those in the audience. I'll just do a wee bit infomercial bit. So folks, I don't have a YouTube channel, but what I do have is a newsletter. This is a monthly newsletter that I send out. It will include the whole full February forecast that you're seeing here on the left. So you're able to kind of view it at your leisure. And then it'll include other additional like announcements that I have. But this is usually about once a month. I don't kind of send it too often. I also offer a signature astrology reading called the 2025-2026 Paradigm Shift. If you've experienced big life events happening in the past year or so, I can use astrology to kind of explain what happened, what's happening, and what will happen next. So, this is a great tool to kind of use. If not me, find a trusted astrologer in your life to help explain the times that we're in because they're very rare and remarkable. And I also have my 2026
I was just
calendar.
looking at my calendar the other day.
Oh, good. I actually have yours up because I'm going to talk about the eclipse for you. So we're going to see. Yeah, well, I'll unpack it for you. But I have my 2026 astrology calendar. I've opened up sales for February's orders now. And in the calendar, you'll include 13 pages. I'm going to give you January because we're almost out of it. But I'll also give you January 2027. So you're not going to feel bereft. You're going to have a full 12-month forecast. And this calendar is about you. That's the center of this calendar. It's about you, what's ahead of you, what energies you're going to be experiencing. And it's kind of like a little bit of a toy with layers. And I'm actually creating a booster video that's going to be out next Friday. Folks, it's going to be out next Friday and it's going to really help you unpack. And I think, Linda, when you see it too, the booster video, it's going to make sense for you in terms of how to unpack it further. But
Okay.
now moving into February. Okay, so when it comes to February, we are looking at two distinct themes. Okay, so the dominant theme that is going to kind of overshadow or kind of imbue February is this focus of humanitarian causes or how we get together in community. So it's kind of this power of the people, but also this future orientation. We're thinking about where we're heading. We're thinking about our North Star. So the visual I want folks to think of is imagine we're in a storm right now. We are in a storm where there's hail and wind and dark clouds. But in February, there's a little part in the sky that opens up and we see sunshine and we see a blue sky. We're mostly seeing dark clouds though, but a little bit of hope starts to open up and we get clarity about where we're moving towards. Like, what's the bigger vision and goal we want to move towards? So that's the dominant theme of February. It's going to feel heavy, but it's going to feel a bit more manageable because we know
Right.
where we're moving to instead of this chaos after chaos after chaos. So that's the big energy. We have the great cosmic reset that's going to be with Neptune conjunct Saturn on February 20th, which is that once in 6,000 years event I was talking about. We have a full moon in Leo, letting go of a leader. First eclipse in Aquarius, power of the people. Very, heart centered, heart opening, people focus. What does it mean for us to be in community? That's the dominant energy. And then secondarily, within February, there's going to be a theme where a lot of planets will be squaring Uranus and Taurus. And Taurus relates to the material reality. That relates to our money. That relates to how we ground ourselves. You're a Virgo sun, so being grounded is very important to you. But it also represents like the earth and landscape. So there's a potential for a lot of natural disasters to occur in February, potentially earthquakes. We might see stock market fluctuations. But we also potentially could be seeing more physical protests, like people going out in the streets. Like I actually read today that the No Kings protest has already been announced.
Yeah,
It's going to be
another one.
Yeah, March 28th. So in about 2 months from now, which the last No Kings protest was record numbers. So I
It's going
can't
to
even
get bigger.
imagine.
It's going to be even bigger.
It's going to be
And may
bigger.
I make a little bit of announcement real
Yeah, yeah,
quick?
go ahead. I'll stop sharing.
I just want you not, I just don't want you guys worried about what's happening in Georgia. Somebody on Facebook said, "Oh, yeah, I watched the 11,000 votes disappear." You know, Trump had them going to Georgia over
Oh,
this
yes,
thing
yes,
that's
yes, yes.
already been going through recounts. I don't know how many times they did the recounts. They
Hmm.
never can prove that it was stolen. I want you to know, I don't care what they say or do, that Georgia is going to come out so huge to vote against Trump.
Okay.
It's going to be Armageddon. It's going to be so many votes that maybe Texas will renege because they cheat, and
Yeah.
Florida. But I see Georgia just throwing thousands and thousands of ballots. So I don't want you to worry they're not going to do it. Plus, they're going to sue them, and it might even go to the Supreme Court, and they'll say, no, you didn't have the right to do that.
Got it. Got it. Just this other thing of how right now we're in Georgia, there's the voting thing. It's interesting too when Bondi is trying to negotiate. I think Bondi's the one that said, "Hey, Waltz, if you want us out of ICE, you have to give us the voter rolls." And I Googled it. Apparently, Minnesota has the highest voter turnout. It's like 75% of eligible voters actually vote in Minnesota, and it's actually related to their Northern European roots, their Scandinavian roots. They're very much about the community and civic participation. But
Wow.
when you're, yeah, exactly. Yeah, folks that are from Minnesota, thank you for voting and protesting. But if you're, I think the main technique they did with the election was hiding votes. And if you are when the election the 2024 election, that's they hid votes. That's kind of how you would do election fraud. And so Bondi would need to know the voter rolls to know which votes to hide. And so it makes sense what they're trying to
Oh,
do. Yes. Yes.
wow.
Because it's harder to manufacture a false vote, but it's easy to say people you didn't count people's votes.
And
And
you know what I find interesting right now? He's talking trash about Elon Musk.
oh, really?
Trump is.
Oh, interesting. He's going back and
He said,
forth, back and
he
forth.
said, this guy, I've never liked EV. He knew when he was supporting me, I didn't like EV. He knew this, and he's still fighting with me on this. And I don't think people should have to buy an electric car. I really don't. Which
Yeah.
in a way, I understand. I don't mind hybrids, but I don't want to own an electric car. And so he said, you know, he gets tons of money to do his little play with his satellites and outer space from the American people. I think maybe we should look at cutting him off.
Oh, wow. See, this is the whole I hate you, I love you, I hate you, the
Yes.
narcissist thing, the whole, and then Elon Musk is supposed to chase him and say, oh, it's interesting. Elon Musk is actually going to have a very positive birthday this year. Venus and Jupiter do an amazing thing. So I know as much it is, and maybe he's going to have a really good birthday because maybe Trump won't be around and he won't deal with that. But yeah, he has transiting Jupiter, I think, conjunct his Venus, either on top of his Venus or on top of his sun. I don't think he's a Leo sun. I think he's actually a Cancer. Um, but something really positive happens such that from this birthday to next birthday, Elon Musk will have a good year. Which I know we don't. I just want to say, yeah, that's just Elon
Oh,
Musk's
and he also
astrology.
said, and maybe he should go back to South Africa.
Oh, interesting. Wow, he's really having a fight with Elon Musk.
Something happened.
Yeah, they came out with the numbers of Teslas for 2025. I think it's 76% drop of sales.
Yeah, yeah. He's been
That's
losing
huge.
every day on the stock market. It's not a
I'm
lot, maybe 5 or 6 points, but still, it's dropping. It's not going up.
No, I mean we saw protests at Tesla dealerships. Like, of course, that was going to create a drop. I know folks.
And then that Amazon guy laying off 160,000 people while him and his wife went to some party and they were showing them laughing. I am done with Amazon.
No,
No more
we're
Amazon, you guys. I'd rather go through Walmart than Amazon.
yeah, we're seeing all these like tech companies like chummy up, or these companies chummy up with Trump. But then we're seeing them turn around and just do layoffs after layoffs after
While they're
layoffs.
living high on the hog like a
Yeah.
bunch of pigs.
Yeah. It's not like they're getting a deal and they're going to take protect their workers.
He's
No,
buying jets and he's buying.
I
He
know.
took. What did he do? And what did he
The
do
or
in
the blue
Italy? He
orbit, the
had.
one in space.
Yeah, he did that, but he also had a wedding that was billions of dollars. He
Yes.
had.
And apparently there's rumors that he's going to buy Vogue, Condé Nast. He's going to buy Vogue magazine and all that other stuff because his wife wants it.
And also, they did the Melania movie that.
Yeah, they did the Melania doc, which I
But you
think,
know, even though it's not going to make a dime,
no.
he's going to lose money on it. He'll just write it off.
Yeah, I wonder if she'll get all those Razzie awards, you know?
Oh, she probably will.
I wonder if she'll even show up
Oh,
at the
they had an
ceremony.
ad in something, in some paper,
Yeah.
asking people to come, and if they sit through the whole movie, they'll get $50.
No way.
But just like he does for his rallies, they're buying people.
Oh my, yeah. It's, I mean, it's
I
kind of like
wouldn't
a
sit
money
through
laundering
that for
thing.
$3,000. I wouldn't sit through it. I'd say nope.
That's, I mean, yeah, that's a vanity project that a first lady was. I mean, this is something that would kind of happen in Russia. Like, this is not something that happens here. A kind of money laundering, I don't
And
know.
he said Trump did a whatever his little thing is. Oh, come and get the tickets. They're selling out fast. Yeah, right.
You know, I will probably watch it when it's on like Amazon Prime, when it's like it's just part of it where I'm not paying dollar because I'm curious. I'm curious if they, you know, what lies they tell or how they paint her. But I would not spend my own money to kind
No,
of go out in the theater.
no.
That would be, yeah, empty theaters. Okay, going back into the February's energy. So, folks, keep that in mind. There's this beautiful cosmic reset. I'm going to go into what those events are. This heart opening for community, a focus on the future where we're heading towards, and so that's going to help us kind of have more tolerance for the gunk of the day to days because we're going to know what we're moving towards. But then also, this Uranus square in Taurus, there's going to be something with the stock market or natural disasters, something to keep in mind. So, moving into February, this is not all the events that are occurring in February, but these are the ones I feel as an astrologer are important. And again, if you're on my newsletter, you'll get all of this. But when we go into February as a whole, you know, these are the kind of key events I want you to pay attention to. And what you can see here is the third week of February is the big event, you know, in terms of energies. And so I'm going to unpack it, but this is also not really good for Trump and Trump's health. So the first one I want folks to think about is this thing that happens on February 20th, which is so hopeful. It is so inspiring. And in this event, what we're going to see is transiting Neptune will conjunct transiting Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries. And what this means is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. This is like the first cell. This is like the first man, like our human on Earth. And what this means is Neptune and Saturn together, when they both are, they're very different type of energies. Neptune is dreamy. Your sun is actually in the 12th house, Linda. So you're actually very much with that Neptune kind of energy. It's about dreaming, intuition, possibilities. On the TV show Friends, Phoebe Buffay would be Neptune, you know, very like dreamy. You know, she
Right.
just sees more opportunities and possibilities than like less narrowing in. Saturn is very pragmatic, taskmaster, measure twice, cut once. He's very, or Saturn energy can be very kind of restraining, kind of like a hexagon structure. Like, okay, this is just how things are. This is how we need to be. When they both are here together, they have a dream for long-term future. And so they both are thinking about where are we heading towards? What's the next 3 years look like? What's the next 10 years? And can we dream? Can we be optimistic about it with those two energies? So this is already future forward. And then it occurs at 0 degrees, which is the beginning of a 30-degree angle or 30-degree range. And then it's at Aries, and Aries is the beginning of the zodiac wheel. And so the energy of this is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. This is like the first human on Earth. This is like the first cell of life. There is no precedent with this. This is just a whole new start. And this astrological event has, the last time it occurred, we actually don't have records. We think it might have occurred 6,000 or 10,000 years ago from the astrologer I subscribe to. This is what they've said. But the next time it will happen will be 5,760, yeah, AD
Wow.
or BC. Like this is it's a big deal in terms of all of that. Did you want to say something?
No, hopefully I'll be thin enough by then.
5,760. Very, very, very mineral focused, I'll say. But so with folks, you want to see where this is occurring in your chart. I'm going to go into your chart, Linda, so you'll have a sense of it. But you want to know where Aries is in your chart. And so look at your natal chart and just see where Aries is. Is it your first house, your second house, your third house? And then once you know which numerical house it is, just type it into Google. Okay, Aries is in my fifth house. What does that mean? And usually Google will just give you paragraphs and you'll have a sense of where you are going to have this new beginning of, where you're going to shake off childhood dynamics. You're going to shake off ancestral dynamics. You are going to shake off past life dynamics. This is a whole new start. This is a whole do-over that's going to occur wherever Aries is in your chart. And it's almost like wherever Aries is in your chart, you're going to surprise yourself with what you're able to do. Like, wow, I've never thought this was possible for me. I'm a whole new person in this area of my chart. So let me look for you, Linda. I'll give you your little quick analysis because you're a Libra rising.
Yeah.
And this is occurring in your seventh house of partnership. So what this means, this is seventh house of romantic partners. This is business partners. This is BFFs. Like, for example, your great advice you give to folks is, hey, don't trust anyone. Just rely on yourself. But with this
But
astrological
don't
event,
it's
yeah,
that Neptune thing. I used to live that
yeah,
sunshine and roses with marriages. Hell to the no.
yeah, yeah,
You have to be your own individual. Don't try to. I would bend over backwards and cook and
yeah.
clean, and then they
Accommodate.
expect that.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I end up resenting it. So,
Yeah, that's your Libra rising. Libras understand the beauty of the we. Like if I squish myself and you squish yourself, we can together achieve more than if it was every person for themselves. But if you're doing all the squishing and they're
yeah.
then that's going to create issues. But let's go into your chart because you're actually having a new evolution of that with partnerships. Your seventh house of partnerships, romantic partners, business partners, BFFs. And you're going to learn that there's another way of relating to it where you can still be sovereign, you could still be your own individual, but how you can relate to other people, more intimate people, where they see your business, you see theirs, they show up for you in a crisis, you show up for them, and it feels more there's more reciprocity back and forth. There's more of a shared understanding. So that's going to be your new beginning, Linda. That's going to occur. It's pretty, these are pretty profound, but they're both slow moving kind of planets. And so, we're kind of already in the orb of this kind of event when it occurs. But notice what happens a couple days before and after. You might start to have some insights about the shift that you're experiencing, but this is going to, start a new beginning again for the next 6,000 years in terms of these new energies. So you might be surprised in terms of the new creative partners, business partners. You're more like, okay, if I focus on this and you focus on this, we can do cool things together. There's something about that. And even when you were on with Annette the other day, you were both, I think a lot of folks asked about love and romance. It's that companionship of like, yeah, we might live in separate houses or we might be in different places, but we can still come
Yeah.
together and support each other, but also respect each other's sovereignty with this particular transit. So let me go back over here though. So that's kind of your interpretation. So, folks, very positive, very hopeful. And then we have the eclipse on February 17th, a couple days before. And this is a solar eclipse, which is a new moon to the 10th power. And even yesterday, Linda, you asked about when you were on your live, you asked, or you said you didn't know what eclipses were about, or someone wrote to you. That's what they said. They
Someone
wrote,
wrote to me a little bit disturbed. He's a good astrologer.
yeah,
And he said, "Why do you?" I guess he thought I was making out eclipses like they were bad. And what I was saying was, why do people want to say, "Oh, watch out! This
yeah,
eclipse is coming," and
yeah,
Armageddon and stuff like that? I got tired of that.
yeah, yeah,
And I said, "I think you misinterpret what I was saying. I was saying, why do people have to make out the eclipses are bad?"
yeah,
And
yeah.
he agreed that eclipses sometimes are really good.
Yeah, yeah. So, folks, just to clarify for you, Linda, and then clarify for folks on the call, eclipses are a cosmic redirect. This is kind of like your life is heading a particular way, and then the universe goes, hey, let's just redirect you this way. And it's about change. That's, the core of an eclipse. It's about change, and it's really meant to help you metabolize the previous 6 months from the previous eclipse, but also get you ready for the next one. It's like a release valve of sorts. But, humans don't like change. We don't like being redirected, especially they don't give us a memo. We're not receiving an email on our on our phone saying, "Hey, this is what's happening." Unless you talk to an astrologer and then they can help you warn you. But yeah, that's why eclipses can get a bad rap because it's a big deal when you have this shift or pivot. And especially if you're not tuned in terms of what it will occur. So, this solar eclipse that's going to occur on February 17th is a solar eclipse, which is a new moon. So, it's a new moon on top of, it's a new moon to the 10th power. And so, this is about new beginnings. And it's an Aquarius, which is very civic minded, community. Pluto in Aquarius is about power of the people, which is what we're seeing in Minneapolis right now. And while this occurs, it's actually going to be squaring, as you see here, Uranus and Taurus. I talked about Uranus and Taurus is squaring everything for the month of February. And so there's going to be some friction with the material reality. Like it might not make business sense to do this power of the people, or it might hurt the economy. There's something about you have to let go of the money and you have to be more community oriented to kind of, or you have to kind of figure out how to integrate in a different way. And sorry, let me go back here. It's also Mercury in Pisces is also trining Jupiter in Cancer. These are both water signs. So there's something about the veil is thinner too in February where we feel more heart, like a heart opening. There's more compassion. We feel more nurturing towards each other, kind of like our, is that, like for example, that boy that was taken in Minneapolis with the little Lilo and Stitch hat. That's like our compassion for younger people. That's kind of,
Yeah. And
coming
our
in.
compassion for the two people that were assassinated.
Exactly. We're feeling our heart is kind of like guiding us more in February. And the solar eclipse is more of a heart opening. And I think folks are really going to be pleasantly surprised of how people show up the next 6 months because this is a new moon. So a new beginning for the next 6 months will occur of more heart openings, more we should care about our fellow, neighbor, our fellow, citizen. And this is not good for Trump. This Trump eclipse is not good. And so look over here. We have the moon conjunct sun. That's what a new moon is. And this is an eclipse, so powerful energies. And it's opposing his Mars. That blue there is his Mars. And Mars is like your fight. It's willing, you're willing to say no. It's your inner warrior. Think of like Wonder Woman or that movie 300, where he yells like, I'm Sparta. Is that your
Yeah.
guy too? Is Gerard Butler in
Yeah,
that?
Gerard Butler.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's a young Gerard Butler. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's that Mars energy, your fight, lashing out. And so when this new moon occurs opposite his Mars, it kind of pulls it back. He can't access that energies. And then this is also a Mars in his first house of self. And when Mars is in a first house of self, you can make interpretations of health, his physical body. His body is betraying him. His body is wearing down. He's going to be like tired. He could be having slips. He could be having like inner ear issues. There's something about his body is betraying him. And he's feeling pressure. This is also the seventh house of partnerships. So this is romantic partners, business partners, BFFs. Stephen Miller, that's in his group. That's in his orb. Susan Wiles, that's in his orb. Steve Bannon, all of that. Those are his close buddies, quote unquote. And so they're kind of putting they're going against him, that Mars in his first house. Very bad for him in terms of, folks, this is like, that third week of February, we might see him visibly falling or just having some slip up in terms of his health. February, when I look across the whole year, February is the worst for his health. Like if he can just make it through, he might have a procedure. Something is happening there. And then 2 weeks prior, we have the full moon in Leo. Leo is leadership, letting yourself be seen. Sorry. It's your creativity. It's, but it's also a full moon is the release of it. So there's something of releasing a form of leadership, releasing of a way of being seen. And this is also not good for Trump too, because as you can see, I don't have the moon quite on it, but oh, there we go. The moon's right here. The sun is over here. That's a full moon. And then this is kind of close to his Pluto. Do you see that?
Uh-huh.
And Pluto is his power. That's his power center, like his manifesting abilities. It's his you know, his energy, his kind of, it's also energetic power. And so with that, there's some sort of thing, two events back to back, two lunar events kind of crippling his power, and how he shows up. And because there's a focus, he has to release the way he has power, but there's a focus on his partnerships. They're kind of calling the shots more, which makes sense if he's having a health event. He has to
Yeah.
rely on Susan Wiles or other folks. And look over here, there's a lot of planets here too in Aquarius, power of the people. So this whole narrative right now where everyone's asking, Trump to care about Alex and say, you can't just say he was bringing a gun or he was trying to create what's the false narratives they're spreading? Like he was spitting
Oh, he
on
was out to shoot people with
he was
two.
out to do a
He had
massacre.
two loaded mags,
Yes.
but you can only put one at a time. So I don't know what the hell you're
And he
talking.
had a phone with his other hand. And so
And the NRA is furious
the NRA is
because
very fierce. Yes.
he was stamped for having a
Yeah.
gun with him,
Yeah,
which
you
wasn't loaded.
don't. Yes, there's a lot of MAGA folks. You just don't touch that rail because otherwise you lose support immediately. So we're seeing basically this civic pushback, all these planets in Aquarius, this pileup, really pushing against this Leo leader. And so we're seeing the power of the people kind of win. So it's very likely around February 1st, just a couple days. We're already here. He's
And
going
I
to have to
know
take a
we're
step
going to
back.
go into a close down because
Yeah, there you go. The
Trump can
government
show his
shutdown.
ass as much as he wants, and I see like this. No,
Yeah,
we're not going to vote. They're willing to open up other things,
yes.
but not that. Not for ICE.
Yeah, and astrologically, it looks like we will do a shutdown given the planets, but it would be like 2 to 3 weeks. It doesn't look like it will go into March. This looks like it's
Yeah.
contained in February, and I wouldn't be surprised if this heart opening we're seeing with these February placements causes Congress to have more of a heart opening. Like there's something about you have to care. You
I
have to
wouldn't doubt
really,
that. Yeah.
you really have to care. I'm curious, Linda, if you want to pull cards on this eclipse on if you want to pull cards on Trump's eclipse, I mean I kind of already know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
but if you also want to pull cards for the collective, like what we all can
Well, let
be
me look
hoping
at
to see.
Trump first.
Yeah.
February 17th.
Yeah, and let me know, I can share the chart if it helps.
I love that cup. It's so cute.
Well, thank you. It's Tigger.
February 17th. Give me what's going to happen with Trump. He's upset about money too. They're asking money from him.
Interesting.
He reneged or he didn't do something, and now they're going to start taking his assets. He's
Oh,
very
interesting. Do you
furious.
think it's the tariffs?
Well, Supreme Court is going to come back and say no on the tariffs,
Yeah,
and
but will
pretty
they?
much they all know about it.
Yeah.
His
Okay. So they
communication is
internally know about it.
reversed.
Oh, wow.
Karma's
Oh,
coming to get him.
you had upside down Ace of Wands. Okay, that matches that Mars thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a man that's making a lot of sense that's involved with this. I don't know what
Interesting.
that's about.
Is it Tillotson? The Senator Tillotson?
Could be him, but look, it changes will be coming, but positive changes.
Okay, that matches with
They're
astrology.
not showing him keeling over.
Okay, okay. It's more financial and he has to listen to someone else.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense. It does, because that seventh house placement, it's about someone else. It's not about him. He has to really to
it could
benefit.
even be, and the world being there. It could be the fact that everybody's turned their back on him.
Yeah.
They won't call him back about tariffs. He's trying to negotiate some trade deals. They won't touch him.
Oh, it could be
They
a
said
trade
we'll
deal.
work with whoever your new president is.
Oh,
We're not
wow.
working with him.
Yeah, they are.
And
We're
let me
starting to.
tell you something.
Yeah.
Italy is not going to allow ICE in on the Olympics,
Yeah.
on the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
I see them with their military guns drawn and say, "Get the F out of here."
Oh, interesting. Actually, going on to ice and a sporting event, what about the Super Bowl here in the Bay
Yeah, I
Area?
feel like there's going to be protests. People will be so. It's just safer not to have them there.
Okay, because it's our in our backyard. The Super Bowl's here in the Bay Area in the newer stadium. I think it's like 7 years old, and I intuitively feel ICE will be not deployed here in the Super Bowl because I think the tech companies will step
Oh,
in.
that's true.
But
That's
what do
true.
you feel? Do you feel
Let me
ICE will be
throw.
at this? Yeah, throw it. Yeah, for Super Bowl.
Will ICE come to the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Yeah.
I heard no.
Yeah, that's what I feel too.
Some negotiation, they're saying, Trump's not going.
You know, when he was at Iowa, which is a shorter flight, but did you actually see the photos of the audience?
No.
It was like 300 people, 200, 300 people.
Oh my God.
It was so small.
Before the Super Bowl, we might have something else happen.
Oh my
I
God.
do think ICE said they're going to cut off the money for sure. The tower again?
Wow.
I don't, and there's the world. I just see people
Okay,
will threaten not to come,
okay, okay.
but that those tickets are $6,000.
Mm-hmm. It's quite an event.
But they don't want ICE in there. They don't want them.
So you think something might happen the next 8 days,
Yeah,
which makes it very clear I should not be there.
But
Oh
I see
goodness.
marching about it right at the Super Bowl. So I don't
Okay,
know how they get
I
in.
hope, I hope no one else passes. That's my fear in terms of what you're reading that could cause us to be shocked.
Like ICE might try to show up because they think, oh, good, we'll be at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not. It's a total turnoff with them standing with their weapons and a mask. People are not going to like it.
Yeah, and California, we we will protest.
But
We
I hate Seahawks. I've
oh,
hated them
it's
since we played with them, and they refuse to let anybody with our zip code buy playoff tickets because that was when Kaepernick was the
yes,
the
yes, yes.
playing with the 49ers. And I thought that was so cruel, and they did it because they could do it. But a
Yeah.
man owned it at that time. So apparently this man has died, and a woman owns it now.
Okay, so new leadership.
So it's a new leadership, but she gives money to the blue all the time.
Okay.
They're totally against ICE. They were all yelling some song against
Okay,
ICE.
so new energy, new
So it's
leadership.
a new energy. And
Okay.
so, I mean, I even thought, bite my lip, of doing New England, but that guy in New England gives money to Trump all the time.
Yeah, that's what you did a live yesterday and in your chat was like, go Patriots, go Seahawks. It was like a whole thing.
I know.
Our community was very, very
Oh,
passionate,
I
both
really
sides.
hated Seahawks. If you told me I would change my mind, I would say absolutely because they were so rude.
Yeah.
And somebody wrote me that lives out there and said the fans can be pretty ugly.
Okay,
That's what she said.
interesting.
But we have fans too. I know the Dodgers were real ugly, and they really brain hurt Giants fan.
Yeah,
Went and
yeah.
beat him outside in the parking lot. So anyway,
Do
I
you do you want to
unfortunately, if the Seahawks win, I won't be upset because she gives money. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
if
new
her
leader. So
team
it's
is playing,
yeah.
she might have a little voice in about ICE.
Yeah, she could oh, you're right. The teams could influence whether the ICE
She might
agents are
even
there.
pay for her own personal army the Seahawks because ICE
Yeah,
probably knows they can't stand them.
yeah, that makes sense.
There's something that's going to happen.
Yeah, some intervention. Do you want to, okay, right now, just between you and me,
Yeah.
who do you think will win? The Seahawks or the Patriots? Do you want to throw cards?
Well, I think it will be the Seahawks.
You think it's the Seahawks?
Mm.
Let me see if I can feel into it. The Patriots have gone a lot, right? They've played a lot at the Super
They've
Bowl.
won like 14 times. The Seahawks have only won one Super Bowl, so I'm willing to let them win another one.
No,
You
I
know
can't
what's
feel it.
weird?
Yeah,
We played the Seahawks on their turf 3 times this season,
yeah.
and we beat them every time.
Oh, wow.
Then we go there for this last game, and we lost 41-3.
Ooh,
It was
weird.
weird.
With the weather, I mean, because also California, the Bay Area can
That's
get
how
really
football
cold.
rolls. That's the cool
Yeah,
thing about football
yeah,
is you never quite know,
yeah. Yeah. The variance of between. Okay, so Linda, you're seeing the Seahawks. I
What,
can't get a hit either or. I do feel like the Patriots have done it a lot though. They've played the Super Bowl a lot. I do feel the game will sort of be determined by mid what is it called? The halftime?
halftime?
I think the halftime I think one will be leading pretty clearly. And
Okay.
it'll be kind of like the other one has to kind of, will the other one turn around? Will something happen in the third inning or the, so I feel like by halftime it'll be kind of clear, the die will be set in terms of who will. That's my little
Yeah.
baby hit. We'll see in
Yeah.
terms of what happens. But yeah. Well, then Linda, that is February's energies.
Wow, that was fun.
Yeah. And then we'll be back in a couple weeks and we'll be talking about March's energies. So folks
Did
can
you
dive
take a
into
little
that.
quick peek
Peek
of
into what?
March?
Oh, March's energies. March is same. April's the big pivot point. So
Okay.
February is really positive. March is, mostly I would say not that different in terms of February energies, but April, boy. April, a lot of things move. April is like going to feel like January, where April is going to be like 2 months in 1 month type of energy.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of like a lot of new starts, very, very positive. And it's actually better for his health in April. So Trump needs to just make it to April, but in particular, he needs to make it to June. If he can make it to those 2 months, he'll be focusing on other things for the rest of 2026. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you,
All
Linda, for
right.
having
And
me.
thank you guys for
Appreciate it.
coming.
Yeah.
Catch you soon.